Alright, is everything live? Oh, cool. YouTube is working. Is Twitch? Sweet. Oh, leave that one open. Alright, welcome to Founders Mode. I'm streaming the process of building and marketing apps until I get to $100,000 in monthly recurring revenue. And the way I break it down to make it sound more realistic is that's 20,000 people paying $5 a month. And if I'm making apps, like one app a month, it's not going to take very many apps just from constant repetition and learning. It's going to take maybe like 6 months, let's say, to get to like 5,000, 10,000 in monthly recurring revenue alone. So at least if I don't make it to 100,000 in like 2 years, I'll be making a few thousand a month. And that's at the very least. So I'm just going to keep doing this Monday through Saturday until I get there. And previous stream, I think we were working on gallery. Right now I'm making a kids coloring book app using AI. Right now all the coloring book apps that are out there, essentially you just have a bunch of images that are created by someone, some illustrator, some artist, and maybe you have like categories to help you find what you want, but you can't quite make exactly what you want. And so with this, you're just prompting an AI, getting exactly what you want. And yeah. So anyways, right now it's a kids coloring book app. And let's see. This is going to be my second app that I'm making. The first app, you can watch the last stream, but in the beginning I was mentioning how my first app, I kind of messed up with the monetization from the start. And I would have had like a clear path to making money. This one, I'm pulling out all the stops right from the start. Going to have a subscription, going to have a paywall. It's not going to be a hard paywall, but it's going to encourage them to subscribe. And it's going to be a little bit more than like an MVP. It's going to have an explore page, which is customizable. I wouldn't say machine learning algorithms dictate what's on the explore page, but it is customizable. So there is some amount of algorithms there. And yeah, and then just the essential second flow, which is creating your own images, coloring pages, or coloring stories, which is an interesting new approach to just generating coloring pages. And then because it is a kids app, I do need to include like the content moderation, and then parental access, so letting them like prevent kids from accidentally purchasing stuff. I think that was, well, I have it here. Settings, yeah. And then just the other things such as rating, sharing. These are just custom with every app. So I'm really trying to get this going. Like if I didn't do anything else to this app, this alone could probably, like this first app that I have planned could probably sustain itself for a year maybe. And yeah, so I started this last week. Got the create page pretty much done. Right now it's the page or story. If it's a story, they can't go over 5 pages. Then they can also get ideas. This part right now is just the view. I do need to connect I do need to create a model, I think, for this, and then also set up the controller, which is going to be also having some bit of AI to help customize the ideas. And this is just a text view. This is just a microphone with text to speech. And then my page isn't connected to anything. Same thing for my story. This isn't connected to anything. Gallery view, this is also pretty much done. I do need to implement stories. So stories, I'm going to need to create a model for this. And yeah, and then figure out how I want it to look. And then this, I need to fix this because it's not the same height, and I do want it to all look pretty much uniform. And then I don't have anything for settings, don't have anything for explore. So I'm going to need to create those. But today I wanted to take it a little bit slow. I've been focusing the past few days on like getting the little finer details of the create, of the gallery, of the coloring book page. And I also haven't implemented everything yet. Like this is still, I need to implement. I still haven't drawn anything for the tutorial. That's completely blank in my mind. And what else? So this is done. Oh, I could also view it as a list view. And one of the things that was kind of like burning me up yesterday was like getting a good UI, because right now my UI is all over the place. Like I thought initially that I wanted the UI to look minimal color like this. And then everywhere else just like one or two places where you add some color. This doesn't have any color, but the UI alerts do. Tutorial, the color might be in the heading or in the next page, and that's it. The gallery, I was thinking it would just be the titles and the pages, and that's it. And I'm kind of stuck. Icons have color. So there's minimal color, but enough that it doesn't look like just black and white. But I don't know, it just doesn't, like I'm a perfectionist with this, and so I don't know if I should just leave it as is. And so that's one of the things I'm going to work on today. I'm not even going to think about it right now, because then I'll just get stuck trying to think about it. And what else? So the goals for today, let me look at my notes. Oh, first thing. So I kind of went a little bit deeper than like most people do with their MVPs. If you notice, I want to implement AI here. This is going to give ideas that are customized based on the onboarding, the people, and that's something I'm going to plan to today as well, the onboarding. And we're going to look at Quitter app for their onboarding and see how because they're making money right now, they're printing cash, and basically they get their users to go through a bunch of questions, and those questions, I'm not quite sure how because I haven't used the app, but they use those questions to customize, or at least they get the user to believe that the app is more customized because of these questions. But in my case, they're actually going to help customize the app, whether like the user likes thin or medium drawings, whether they like cool versus like cute drawings. Like kids from 8 to 15, their interests range drastically, so we're going to want it to be a little bit more customized. And all that customization is going to require AI, whether in the image creation or in the user experience. So yeah, we're going to look at the Quitter app, see what their onboarding process is. I don't quite want to make it as lengthy. Like maybe it's just going to be like 6 pages with more visual examples, like choose this image versus this image. Which one do you like more? And it's going to be simple. I'm also not going to try to oversell it because it's kids, and I want to be on the ethical side. I'm going to make this app for adults eventually. Eventually, I mean probably next month or the month after that. And so there, I'm going to pull out a little bit more of the stops and maybe be okay going a little bit gray line. But not for the kids app. So yeah, have AI here. Back to my original point, I have AI here. I'm going to use AI here or algorithms to customize the categories that are shown to them. And AI is being used to create the story images, or the coloring images, and then the text in the stories. So like 3 places where, and then maybe in blocked words or in prompts that the kids can look up. No, I think that would just be like a dictionary. Yeah, just keep it simple for now. So yeah, AI is going to be like in 3 different places in this app. And so I really need to make sure that I have all my data flows, which I started on day 1. Didn't come back to it because I didn't need to. So today, I keep kind of like going in rabbit holes, but today I want to structure all my data and just really get a hold of like these are all the coloring view, or all the view controllers in my app. And then I want to clarify what are the models and what communication or the controllers I need between all these different view controllers, and then also the back end. So I want to draw that out. And then we're going to work on the onboarding. Like I said, I also want to finalize my app UI. I've been switching back and forth on like how it's going to look. First I started this, and then as I was making the gallery, you can see here my original idea was just to tile all the images. But then when I was making it with Claude, it looked a little bit more like this. And now I'm kind of stuck. Like, they both look nice. I like this one a little bit more, but it has no color, so I don't know if I should just add color here or to the titles or to make the shadow the color. So that's something I want to finalize and just finish it today. Whatever I decide, I'll improve it in the future. And then offline, if I get time, what I'm going to do also is integrate AI, and that's going to be a little bit tricky because I'm going to take the prompt for the page. They tap make my page. Is this going to send the prompt to my Firebase functions, because I don't want to store the API key on the app, because the app can be reverse engineered. People can just take my API key and then just run through all my credits, or run through my dollars. And yeah, so I'm going to need to connect it with Firebase functions. That's going to check if the user is authenticated. That part I don't quite understand, so that's going to take some time. That's going to then request the image, send it back to the app, and the story, that's going to be a little bit more trickier. Oh, and then I also need to check that they have enough credits left. So it's going to be pretty complicated, and that's why I'm going to need these diagrams that I'm about to draw to kind of figure out how I want it to look. So let's get started. Let's just draw this. Today I'm going to try to be a little bit more relaxed. I'm not going to be as trying to zoom through everything, because I just feel a little bit burnt from all the other days of writing so much code. Alright, so let's see, where do we start this? Let me just skim through my previous notes, take what was good, and then improve it. So gallery VC, this is where, gallery, create, oh, did I name it incorrectly? Okay, let me go through it. So weekly theme, yeah, this is not the gallery, this is the explore page. And the reason I have an explore page is because typically when people download coloring book apps, the first thing they do, scroll down all the the first app you land on when you open a coloring book app is all the different coloring pages that are available. And so this is a page where you want to show off, to give people the impression that you have a lot of variety, and people can just stick with you instead of moving on to the next. So this is going to have a weekly theme. Oh, yeah, and that's going to be another place where okay, so just remember that. Weekly theme, where we're going to need some manual updates every week. That's going to be server side. And these are just dashboards I was creating to try to update it without having to push it to the server. I don't want to directly touch the server, because that can lead to a bunch of issues. So I send in the title, subtitle images to my dashboard, which then updates Firebase. And then I was wondering, if they're in an explore page, if they tap an image, do they have to color it, or do they tap a save button to add it to their own gallery? And then to make the explore page happen, which isn't that hard, all we have to do is create basically a data structure that is made of the title, images, and image, or title, and then an array of image structs. And yeah, and so then for the view, we just add all of these into a scroll view. Well, I mean, we also have to create the view controller for these, but models are going to be category structs. And then from kids, okay, so this is going to be another tricky category, because we're going to want to find a way to save the images that kids are making, look through them, pick the coolest ones, then all the other categories are just categories. And gotcha. Okay, I've realized the way I want to approach is, there's a lot going on, and it's beyond like a simple thing. But how can we make it simple? Because the other thing I want to do is, I don't want to just, these are the categories, these are 10 images, and these are the same 10 images that you're going to see every single time you load up the app. I want to like push new images every so often, maybe randomize the images so they look like it's being updated. So that's something. all the complexity comes from this explore page. I could just not do it. No, that's the soft way out. How do we approach this? I mean, what I can do is, for now, focus. Well, I mean, okay, I'm getting into decisions when I don't need to be. Let's decide later. For now, we just are aware that the explore page is where everything becomes a nightmare. But for now, we understood that. And now we can go on to the create VC. Here, no page, number of pages, that's all done. Ideas, this is something I need to work on. Prompt with the text field is done. Text to speech is done. Credits left needs to be connected to the user. And then the button to create is tappable, and that just needs to, I just need to implement the API. Story BC, this one I need to create, but it's essentially going to have a title for the story. It's going to have a bunch of images with page numbers and story text. And here actually you can see it side by side. So this is a story. Page numbers, yup. Okay. And then the coloring view controller. This one's mostly done. I just need to implement all these different options in the UI menu. Clear, share, print, duplicate, report, and delete. And coloring view controller. Yeah, that was that one. And then the gallery. Gallery is mostly done. We just need the stories. And then I need to figure out the UI. Settings is where I have all these other different view controllers. Thankfully, a lot of them are just links, or just things that Apple has already figured out, like rate app. I think that's like a function in a import library that you just add. Same thing for share app. Send feedback, I've done this before, so I could just plug that in here. Theme color, this one. I need to finish the UI. So once the UI is done, this will be a lot easier. Clear data, this one's just Firebase call. preferences, subscription. This one's based on onboarding. This one, I need a test, and I'm not familiar with, so we need to figure that out. Same thing with blocked words. And then we're going to need to implement a passcode for purchasing, I guess. Or changing the blocked words. Or maybe these as well. Updating preferences, clearing the data. Okay, so now I recall more or less how everything is. Where's my brain take me now that I have all this information? So, I have all this information about my app. Go through the notes. Oh, okay, so this is where we can break it up. We have explore, and then we have the create a page flow. So explore and so looking at create a page first, because we said this is just I'm stacking UI on it and a lot of like manual tasks that I'm not so sure about right now. So instead of getting into this, let's get into what's the core of the app, and that's this. And so what we're looking at is, oh, you can't see. When the user first, and actually let me make this smaller. So when the user first goes into this flow, they're either going to go on to page or story. From page, they're either going to, they have a few options. They're going to go on to ideas. They're going to tap an idea. Let me write that. They are going to tap microphone, or they're going to type they're going to type a prompt, and then all of these are essentially going to fill in the text view. So let's say and then from there they are going to wait, do I have arrows? Oh, I do have arrows. They are going to press make my page. So this looks awesome. I guess that's better. They're going to press make my page, and then what this is going to do is it should first check okay, so first a few things come to mind. We want to check for blocked words. Let's write that. And then we also want to, this is in a particular order, it's just what comes to mind. Enough credits. And what else? How should we do this? So we're gonna check if there's no blocked words, if there's enough credit, if it's not empty. If not empty, what else? I can tap my page. If there's enough credits, there's no blocked words, and if it's not empty, I think those are the cases. Okay, so then we'll just say check. And then once the check is done, we're going to send this to Firebase. I can just write functions underneath because that's not too important. That's going to then call API, which is then going to send it to the phone or to Firebase or to both. What do I want to do? So we need to send it to the phone for sure. But the one thing that I was considering, okay, so I'll write phone because we do need to send it there. Wait, if we're okay, so actually this is one point where I don't know, so I can just write a bullet. If Firebase calls API, does image get and then I also, if it does, if yes, what, or estimate cost per image. Because if, let's say it's 5 cents per image of sending it to Firebase and me having to store it locally, because all these images, I don't think I'm going to be able to afford the cost of storing them on Firebase. And yeah. So at least until the app picks up, I will store them locally, and they don't have personal information, so that'll be fine. If you estimate cost per image, yeah, so if it's a lot to send through Firebase for every image, is there a way just to send it to the phone? And I can just write that as if expensive. And then I'll write an orange because I'll write orange because right now we're assuming it's going to go directly to the phone. And that's why I have a bunch of questions. But for now, we're also going to want to send that image to Firebase to store, or to download locally and then push up later for the Explore Kids category. So this is the overall flow. And I need to implement everything past press make my page. So the better way to visualize this is all of this is done. Press my page. Wait. And then the red would be, or not red, let's do a different color, because no, I think red's fine. And then all of this is things that we need to implement. So that's kind of how it looks. But I think what I need to work on is... No, I think that'll be a tutorial thing. Right now I was thinking like, how do we ensure... Because prompting right now is like one issue that I've been facing. Like, how do you get the right prompt to get the right image? And typically for a prompt, you want to be like as specific as you can be so that you're not like... So that your expectations are met. And I think that's going to be through tutorial. Yeah. And that's through the tutorial. Right now I'm assuming tutorial is going to be... But the issue then, I don't want to like try to think through too many corner cases because then I just get stuck in everything. Right now I'm going to assume tutorial is going to work and it's going to help them. Maybe I add an alert in the future. Like, let's say 3 people say that my images aren't working to their expectation. And then I mean, there's no way for me to see what went wrong, but I can ask them, like, can you tell me what kind of prompts you were giving? If they reach out, or if they respond back, and then improve from there. So anyways, page. And the thing I also need to work on is the tap the idea. And, well, yeah, okay. So that's pages. I can come back and then go into detail on these. But an overview, that's how it looks. And then from story, if they go here, then they're going to want to adjust or change the number of pages. And then from there, they're going to basically repeat. Wait, are they? Can they? And actually okay. So I'm having ideas right now, and I don't know where to write it down so it doesn't get too messy. Things we need to implement, we're saying tap idea. Or, let me make that clear. We said tap idea. So if they tap the idea, what I'm thinking is this is going to be calling like ChatGPT or Claude or something else every time. And the reason being that we want ideas that are most similar to things that they're interested in from onboarding. And these ideas, or these 1 to 2 words, come with a sentence. And then in the case of a story, they're going to come with like 3 sentences. Or depending on the number of pages, it's going to come with that many sentences. And so what I don't want people doing is, like, if they're on the free version and they have no credits, if they're on the... If they have... Okay, that's the better way. If they have credits, they can't tap ideas. Or if they don't have credits. If no credits, they're going to be taken to the... If no credits, you're going to be taken to the subscribe page. Cool. And okay. So anyways, in story flow, they're going to go story, change the number of pages. They're going to tap an idea, or tap the microphone to speak, or type a prompt. That's going to fill in the text view. They're going to press make my story. That's going to do the checks, Firebase function. Okay, so up to the here, because what's going to change is we're going to be making multiple pages. And so we're going to need to parse the text. Yes, this is why you can see where the modularity comes in, because this is the overall flow. And I didn't go into tap idea because then tap idea requires a bunch of other things. So we start from an overview and then go into detail on each of those like functions or functionalities. So story, change the number of pages. Wait, didn't I just, oh, duh. What did some of this down, some space above it, move this up. What the? So story, change the number of pages. They can then tap the idea. If this function is called with page versus story, and here what I'm wondering is whether they tap an idea, tap the microphone, or type a prompt. Because it's a story and I don't want to have like 5 text boxes, we're going to need to think of a way to parse the input. So we can just say that. I don't need to think of that exact method right now. Let's just say so they're going to wait, how do I So what I'm thinking is we're going to parse the input, but we're also going to need them to cooperate with us on their input. So for example, if they tap idea, that's just us specifying, like, we get to specify the format of the input and then they can change it, but they should know not to like say, like if we have page 1 and then a sentence, page 2, it's going to be easy to look for page X, and then we can just remove that, send in each sentence, or we can tell them each sentence should go on a new line, or each sentence that goes on a new line is going to be a new page. Or if they're doing the microphone and they're speaking, we're going to need them to say like a verbal cue for the new idea. So I can write an arrow here. I just don't quite know how to like include that in the diagram. Or just decide on. And then I can say like new line, adding the word page for each new sentence, or saying like period or new page. Or yeah, just page, because then they can say new page, next page. And we'll just add that as a new. Yeah, but I'm not gonna want to be robust. I want to, for the first one, it's just one way of doing it, and you just have to do it that way. Because then people know, people get adjusted to it, and I'd rather have that than people trying to guess how they can produce the results they want to produce. Do not be robust. So it's clear that this is how you have to do it to make it work. And then there'll be less errors. That's going to fill in the text view. They're going to press make my story. And then we're going to run through the same checks. And because it's just a text view, we can go through it like it's one big message. We're also going to check if they have enough credits, if the text view is not empty. Or maybe in this case, we're going to have to... Interesting. So here what I can do, instead of like making my notes confusing, I can just go see above flow, and then here I can do if story number, like sentences or tokens, or I don't know, does number of sentences equal number pages? And yeah, so then we're going to check. And so how does this work? We have 5, or let's say in the worst case we have 5 different sentences. We're going to want a page for each of them. We're going to want those pages to look similar. Do we send them one at a time? Do we optimize the prompt? Oh Lord. Because that's an entirely different flow. I haven't even like gone to prompt engineer. These are just a bunch of questions I'm going to have. And this is where I'm probably going to ask like Claude, because I really don't have an idea. Well, I mean, so if we break it down further, like we have a bunch of sentences. Each sentence is a prompt. Wait. Call Firebase functions. We're going to check. We're going to send it to Firebase functions, which is going to call the API. And then something that I'm considering here actually is we're going to send this to like an LM or optimize. And this isn't going to send it to the API. So this is just a question mark. And so if that works better, we can just do that. I think for the first one, the first MVP, we won't do that. But I think that might be necessary for the story view. I'll have to test it. If it can just be as simple as... No, don't make this too complicated, Francisco. That might be in the future. For now, we're going to check it. So essentially it's just some 5 different sentences, and we're just going to have to add it to a prompt. that we can create as good of a story as we can at the moment. If people complain, then we do the prompt engineering for version 2. So 5 different ones. It can just be a series of 5 prompts, or yeah, I guess we can say that for now. Don't have to make it too difficult. So Firebase check. So if we send this to, what I want to write here is either like here or here. Send story prompts in series, call API, and then here actually we're gonna have to this is actually a good case because right now I don't want to save stories. Or do I? No, for now it's just going to be coloring images. Wait. No, yeah, for now it'll just be coloring images. I'm thinking like, I know some of these kids are going to be really creative and their stories are going to be like kind of cool, and I might want to share them with other kids on the app. But for now, no Firebase. It'll just be the single images that we have. And here actually what's also going to happen, I should write down we're going to need a way to like when we so the problem, okay, when I say sending it back to iPhone, oh right, gotcha, okay, so it's going to be sent to the iPhone, and then from there, if everything is successful, they're going to be taken to coloring view, which I didn't say before. Okay, so actually, do I need to write this? Because I'm wondering what the best way is. So now I'm wondering, so what if we call? What if we send it to Firebase? But there's an issue with either Firebase or the API. So if there's an issue with Firebase, then we're not being charged for any images that we created. But if there's an issue with the API, we're also not going to be charged. But if there's an issue with Firebase in sending back the image, I can write this down. What to do if issue. No charge. UI alert. Try again later, or try again. Would there ever be an issue with them receiving the image? Because here would require working with Firebase. For example, Firebase receives the image, then we say, like, we received it, they paid for it, but they didn't receive it, which would require like some back and forth communication with the phone. And then just next time that Firebase detects that they're online, send the image back to their phone and their phone can okay it? Or is that like just not an issue that's going to happen? I guess I need to decide or figure out how this kind of works with this. Can the image be sent directly to their phone, or do we need to send it through Firebase? And if we need to send it through Firebase, would there ever be an issue? Yeah. Or would there ever be an issue? Okay, so then I can just clear this up. Receive image on the phone, receive image, and store locally. So we receive the image on our phone, we're going to store it locally, and then we're going to open up Coloring View. So that's basically the flow of a person having a page idea and creating it. And then for the story, press make my story, we're going to check it, go to Firebase Functions, send the different sentences in a series. We're going to call the API. And so this is the reason that I went back to the original, was because when we're doing this, we're going to need to wait for all 5 images before, and that might actually take a little bit more time, because one image, one image takes about like 10 to 20 seconds. And so when we're talking about like 5 images, that's going to be a case where they might have to wait 2 minutes. And so what I'm thinking is, that's a good idea actually. So what I'm thinking is, because it's not a coloring page, for example, here we're waiting, no, not here, here we're waiting for the page to be generated, then we take them to coloring page. And so that's fine, because it takes like 10 to 20 seconds, which isn't that bad. And I'm wondering even if we should consider like, okay, actually, here I'll write it. If it's been over 5 seconds, we can maybe do an alert, an animation that pops up. But this, I think, is only, after tests. Let's do after tests, because if it takes too long, animation, we're cooking up something special. Something like that. And so here, actually for the coloring view, what I'm thinking is, I'm assuming that a single image isn't going to take too long and we don't even need any animations. But for a story, it is going to take like 1 to 2 minutes. So we're going to send them to call API. And we're going to send, not to call API, but we're going to call API. We're going to, once the first image, and this is where this diagram kind of starts to break down, because it goes from like a block diagram to like a sequence diagram. I don't know. Call API, send them to, or receive and store first image, and store first image, and then send them to story view. And story view is going to or a better way is like wonder if that's possible. I think it's possible. Send them to story view. First image is going to be there. They type over to the next images. Show them a placeholder that will update once we receive. Yeah. Show placeholder image. Other until they are generated. The alternative is just waiting for all images to be created, which could take like a minute, 30 seconds. And yeah, that's pretty much the flow for story. It's always better to like draw this and figure out how you want to approach like the corner cases, because my first app, I didn't do like any drawings like this, and so I was figuring out corner cases on the fly, and it took me like a week, not like the last week, but just a week of like days through the process of making that first app where I would have to like refactor my code because I thought of a different approach that was better or whatever. It just was not stressful, but annoying, where you're working on something for so long and you just want to get it done. So let's see. So we have those two major flows, and so we have those two major flows. And I'm handling, so then the only thing left on those two major flows is the idea generation. What about the title. No, not the title. The title is going to be for them. It's going to be like untitled page. That's going to save me trying to figure out how to integrate another AI thing. So untitled story, untitled page, cool. So then the only places where haven't figured out the UI or the AI calls, I did the images. Clear is fine. Share is fine. Print is fine. Duplicate is fine. Report. This is just Firebase. Oh my lord. Okay. No, I think that'll be simple. It's just Firebase, send this image to Fire Storage. That's going to be like a bucket of just a field with a bunch of images that have been reported. And then that's going to be Firebase storage. And then Firestore, we're going to be storing the complaint. Should we let them file a complaint? Like, specify their own complaint? I think we'll go with this for now. And then if, like, after after let's say like 5 images of like, we just don't understand what's wrong with it, then I'll include a text box. But I'm assuming a lot of images are just going to be straightforward, like, this is what, it's clear that this image is like weird or wrong. Report, delete. And what I'm wondering as well, okay, so we need to implement ideas and then regenerate as well. And that's it. Implement ideas and regenerate. So one thing I'm thinking about with regenerate is, for the story, they can, let's say they're not happy with a particular page that was generated by the AI. I want to give them like 1 to 2 free regenerates, and they can just tap this. They can. So what I'm thinking is, they're not happy. They tap this. This sends. This has like a number. This has like 1 or 2. They tap it. It counts down. When they have no more, it turns gray. And if they tap, so the thing is, I want to let them edit also like the specifics of the page, so they can like edit. I typed a new sentence, like I was more specific. I'm better at prompting now that I see like my previous prompt was horrible. So now I want to regenerate. And so if they regenerate, they get a message like, oh, you didn't update your sentence. Are you sure? If you didn't like your previous message, consider being a little bit more specific. Do you want to just run the same sentence? And so that's what I'm thinking with regenerate. And then for a single image, in the options, if they have regenerates like 1 or 2, it'll be like this arrow, and it's going to say like under clear, or maybe above report, there's going to be a regenerate, and then there's going to be like in parentheses the number of regenerates that they have. And But in this case, if they regenerate, how can they adjust the prompt, the text? Maybe we open up a UI alert with a text box saying like, would you like to improve? Yes, I need to consider. See, these are all the little corner cases that like I need to think about. And when you're just trying to implement everything at once, it becomes like a hassle or it becomes difficult trying to decide whether to refine things or just push along and implement everything. I was looking at the settings in Explorer because those are the ones I haven't implemented yet. And okay, I'll just write this on my iPad under implement. Oh. So since I already kind of said the whole flow for regenerating, I'll just work on that one. So we have a story mode and a page mode. So story, they should ideally, or not even, I'm not going to count for what they're doing. I'm going to count for what I need to do in the story. So story, they're going to tap regenerate, regen, and we're going to say like 1, and this is per image. So, so each image, okay. This is something I didn't count for before. Per image, wait. Okay, so what I'm thinking now is there's a difference. Do I want to have like a regenerate button that isn't free? Okay. So this is actually going to be y. Okay, I don't even know. Okay. So function itself, or struct, or model. X regenerates, regen, I'm illiterate, X regenerates free. And then certain color. And then once they run out of free regenerates, charged. Certain color. And this model is going to need to check. Oh, not that one. This one. Credits. And each time that they want to regenerate, we want to... Oh, okay. So this was a model. And so each time that they want to regenerate, this is where it changes based on story or view mode. And so actually story or view mode should be below the fundamental functions of a regenerate. So for a story, it's gonna yeah, so now we modularized this. Oh, and then, okay, so something else I need to account here is each page has free regenerates, what do you call it, property. So I need to add that to the page struct. And so for each story, they're going to have a regenerate, which is basically just going to pull from that. And so then this will because this is a story mode, we want to check that the text that they're sending. No, okay. Let's not make it complicated. We don't check that their text is the same. We instead say, would you like to update your prompt? UI alert. Would you like to and then we're going to have like a empty text box with prompt, and then oh, okay, now I'm confused. Do I say, so I have a UI alert that says, would you like to update your prompt? And I can say no, or cancel, no, send, or send. Or, okay, so if the prompt is like regular text color, we can just say cancel or done. I need to fix this copy, but something like that, like they can cancel or not, and just send whatever's in the text field, but they know that they have the option to update it if they do want to. So story regenerate, which is going to basically look at the regenerate model, and then they're going to have a UI alert. This is going to cancel or send it, and this is then going to okay, so then what this is telling me is it's basically following the same process as making a page. So then I'm going to need to make this entire flow available here. Done, send, or use page generation flow. And so what happens if they update why is there so many corner cases? So if they update a page, do we give them an option to look at do we make a new story, or does delete the previous page? Do we let them choose between the pages? How do we handle that? Use page generation flow, and then what? Create. What I'm thinking now is, suppose they do have a previous image. We're giving them away, so we want a story. Wait. Because this can get real tricky. If they regenerate, because now we're going into like permutations or combinations, I don't know which one, and that's going to get real tricky if we start to make a duplicate of every story with every new image. But what if instead they have one story, and in that story they have pages, and each pages can have previous like drafts, and so under each image we have like a previous pages, and they can then previous pages, which will give them a list view, and previous pages will give. My mind started going into subscriptions. So for example, if they delete the app and everything's stored locally, and then they say restore my purchases, everything was on your phone and you deleted it. So what does restore purchases look like then? I don't know. I was just thinking about that. But so I'm thinking is like just don't start trying to mentalize everything. Just do like previous pages, previous drafts, page drafts, and then this would be like a 14, and then a light gray, or maybe down here. Previous, so I click this, I'm gonna have a list view pop up. I can wireframe this, so I'm gonna have a list view pop up, and okay, no, so let's do this, and this would be like previous pages. Select a page, select a new page. I don't know, something like that. We can adjust the copy later. And here, what we're gonna do is remove this, expand this. We're gonna put a frame, a list view inside this. This is then going to like say, well, yeah, it'll be like that. And then what we do here is move this over, and then we're gonna have rectangle, or no, not a rectangle, because we want to frame. This is gonna be 50, and we're gonna add a stroke, and this stroke is gonna be of the same color as here, and then we're gonna maybe 2. Okay, reduce the size to something like that, and here, trying to get the middle. Oh, there we go. $43, so let's do 2. No. $20. I think it's fine. And then this, we go to fill. We do something like that. I need to check what Apple has, but I think it's fill F, stroke K. And then this is going to be scrollable. And yeah, so that's going to be right there. Yeah, so that was something that was actually good that I thought of. And what else? Previous pages. So then what this tells me is previous pages. When do we want a page to have a previous page? Do we want that for the story struct, or the story, or the page model, I mean, or just a story model? The story, for now, stories have a fixed number of pages. And well, I mean, it's fine. Okay, so let's not do fixed number, because what if in the future that's going to be a headache, I guess, to merge? Is it going to be a headache to merge? No, I don't think it would. But regardless, pages can have any number of stories, can have any number of pages. And for each page, they can have any number of previous pages. So it's just going to be an array. And then to that array, we can then select a new page. Wait. Okay. So that array is not going to be previous pages. It's going to be all pages ever created. And that's going to be shown here. And then, so from all pages ever created, they can then tap a new one. That's going to load up that page onto the story struct. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. What else? So that takes care of regenerate, use page generation flow. And then that's going to, so when they do regenerate, we're going to switch the image, use page generation flow, change story struct, current page with new 1, and then we're going to add the previous generated page, or no, add the okay, add the generated page to all page ones ever, and then boom. So that's gonna, when they ask for a new page, we're gonna show the new page, and then they're gonna have the option to go here, look at all the pages that ever existed, and change it back to one of the previous ones. That works. We're gonna be handling all of those combinations or permutations, whatever. It's been a while since I've taken statistics, and I did not like it, but it's very informative and very important. So that handles so that handles the regenerate. And now I need to handle the taps. Tap buttons. So for that, what I want to make this personalized is the ability for them to say, wait, give me a second. Oh, my notes. Yep. So what I wanted for the users was basically to allow them to, what was I? Oh, here. Cool. Wanted them to avoid like wide writer's block and just not knowing what you want to create based on the onboarding. Have ideas that are generated for you by AI. So for this, I have eyelash in my eye. For this, we are going to, there's a bunch of ideas. These ideas are basically just an array of ideas which have titles and a sentence. It's a page idea versus a story idea. Yeah, I think that's the distinction we want to make. So let me think about this. And I'll think out loud. Tap idea. First of all, if there's no credits, we're going to be taken to the subscribe page. Now, if they do have credits, your money's good here. We're going to see, are you on page mode, story mode? If you're on, wait. Create, no. So I'm skipping a step here. Okay, so I'm skipping a step. Well, no, I'm not skipping a step. Tapping ideas is the easy part. It's the regeneration that I need to think about. So wait, what's the flow? My mind's just spamming a bunch of different like cases, and I'm blanking for a moment. They download the app, go through onboarding, we get that information. So yeah, generate new ideas. And this is going to be triggered by either new ideas or they finish onboarding. Or, okay, so we should say recustomization. Or I don't know the name of it. In the settings, I let them preferences or updating preferences. Yeah, I'll have to get to clear, because I don't know, my mind just sees anything that needs to be worked on, and then I start thinking about working on it, and then I go down another rabbit hole. So right now we're on ideas, and how we get these ideas. If they have no credits, we're going to be showing, they're going to be taken to the subscribe page, and they're going to be just showing the same ideas over and over. Otherwise, the only time they get new ideas... Ooh, yeah, so that's actually the question we wanted to think about. Or no, so we did say the time that they get new ideas is when they press new ideas, when they finish onboarding, or when they update their preferences. Otherwise, would they ever get new ideas? Let's say I tap Sasquatch. What happens then? Okay, let's say I tap Sasquatch, generate my idea. Then what? Next time I go on to it, do I see new ideas or... Okay, let's make this idiot proof for me, for this first version. I tap an idea, that idea, and generate. But how do I want to keep track of when they tap an idea and then generate, or what if they make changes to that idea? Well, I mean, in terms of like minimizing costs, let's say they tap an idea and they use it and they come back and it's there again. They're going to see it's there again. They can think of new, or they can just tap new ideas. Yeah, I think that'll be the simple way to do it. The funny thing is, that's a lot cheaper than like whatever I'm thinking I need on the explore page. If I did just regenerate new ideas every single time that they went to this page, that would be a lot cheaper than like updating this probably. But it's one little area. I think that's the point. It's an area where it's like maybe not as important as your explore page, at least not initially. I think maybe for recurring users it might be more important. But that's why there's a new ideas button for now. Yeah. I think for the first one, the MVP, it'll be fine if the only way they get new ideas is by tapping new ideas or finishing onboarding. And then in later versions I can see, are they just like on this page and then they're there like 30 seconds and then they went through all their ideas and nothing interested them. It was too much friction for them to press new ideas. If no credits, go to subscribe page, generate new idea whenever those things happen, and that's it. And yeah. And so to generate new ideas, that looks differently for pages versus stories. Pages, we're going to use onboarding, or how do we approach this? To create prompt. I'm going to send this to LLM, which is then going to send us like a JSON or I don't know what it sends us, but then we basically extract the titles or extract 1 to 2 words, 1 to 2 word tag, and sentence. And then same thing for the story. Use onboarding to create prompt. We're going to ask LLM. They're going to send us a JSON maybe. We're going to create 1 to 2 word tag and then X sentences because we don't know how many sentences. Yeah, so that's as simple as that. I think the other thing then that this makes me think about is that every time a new idea is requested, what if the user doesn't have an account? I mean, the request isn't even sent through if they don't have an account and they ran out of credits. And yeah, request isn't even sent in that case. And the request is going through the Firebase server. In that case, also though, wait, what am I worried about here? Because if they have credits, and this probably isn't charged too much, I guess I need to figure out, okay, let me write concerns actually. How much for, let's say, 5 new ideas? And if they have a subscription, yeah, I think just researching how much does it cost, because then there's a world where I also have to put where I rate limit it, or well, I mean I can how much for 5 new ideas, because this is basically one time that they repress it, and then my options are rate limiting, something like 1 per day, and then a UI alert, or is that like an in-app purchase? Subs get let's say like 100 per month. Okay, so let me clarify that. If people subscribe, they get 100 per month. And then in-app purchase for extra. In-app purchase for extra. And then rate limiting is one option. What else? If you're free, if you haven't paid for anything, if you're free on the free tier, then maybe rate limiting makes sense. Sending an alert saying you only have 1 per day. Or is there a world where we want to rate limit the subs? Like, let's say if you're a sub, you get 10 per day, or do we just say per month? So that's something I need to think about. How much for 5 new ideas? And then what I also want to think about is if you're on the free tier, we've already considered rate limiting. So there's not a case where people are spamming. Also because they're going to be taking the subscription page. So it doesn't even go to us, to our servers. If you're subbed, that's where I'm exploring rate limiting. Yeah. Free, and then let me just say no credit. Taken to sub. And if you're on the free tier, that's where I'm going to consider like rate limiting or the details of rate limiting. Yeah. Was there any other concerns I had? And here it's just one call, and then LLM is smart enough to make different sentences. We don't have to do 5 calls if they ask for 5 pages. Yeah. So I think that clarifies everything on the main. Yeah, so I need to do a tutorial. And all of these. Okay, now these are clear. I know what to do. This, I just need to clarify how it looks. Oh, I need to improve the UI too. But the AI is clear. The AI stuff is a little bit more clear. Cool. And then now I guess I can go over the explore flow. We're an hour into the almost 2 hours into this. And I've talked about handling the data. Ooh, gotcha. So I've looked at the create page. There's still the explore page, and then there's still onboarding. Each of those have data involved. Create page. And then if we go to the explore page, actually, do I even want to think about explore right now? Because last time I started to think about it, and I guess there's too many unknowns. Let me take this like a step at a time. Finish the create a page flow, like integrate the AI, integrate the story view, integrate all of that. And then maybe I guess integrate the settings. So passcode, blocked words, subscription. Yeah, so that's not even going to the explore page until I finish like the main flow. And then yeah, so that'll help me stay focused. And then I guess, okay, let's go to onboarding now. And then offline I'll figure out the UI, how to improve it, because that's just going to be like tiny little adjustments, looking at it, thinking about what if I like it or not. And that's just a very creative process that takes longer. So what did I say? Onboarding. So here for onboarding, so how should I approach this? How can I do this for mine? Yes, I'm kind of seeing the nuance now, and I'm unsure. Because let's say for this kids app, I say welcome. Go through this or become a quitter. So this would be like subscribe, like create an account or skip for now. Welcome. Like, wait. Welcome. Help us. Let's start by finding out. Welcome. Let's figure out what. Wait a second. Let's figure out what your. Let's customize the images we make for you. And then this would be like continue with Apple. Continue. Skip for now. I don't know about this page. Is there a way to... Ooh, sweet. I didn't know that was a thing. So on this onboarding, we can hide. Is there a way to hide? Oops, that's not what I wanted. Cool. So making the onboarding, the first page might be like this is all just text that I'm going to change, but this is basically the heading. Welcome. Let's customize the images you make. And then here, actually what I'm thinking is let's like make like a collage of, yeah. Okay, so basically what I want is like I'm not quite sure, but what I want is bring to front, illustration showing that images can vary widely, like thin versus medium, front and center with nothing else versus like a versus object with background, something like that. And then here the stroke, I'm just going to make it lighter. Oh, it's better. Showing that images can vary widely. So this is basically gonna tell them like this is why we're doing it. And then I don't know about this next one, but they're saying like sign up. They're saying become a quitter. I don't want to say like become a drawaholic or start drawing or sign up to draw or become, like that doesn't quite make sense in this context. So here MRR. And then this, we're going to have 50 for the to make it kid friendly. Continue with Apple. There. And then this is going to be here and here. With Google. Email, skip for now. Oh. Skip for now. And you built your profile. Your progress will be tracked here. So even if they skip the sign up part, we're still going to hard encourage the question or the survey, just because we want the best experience. And then they can just do like a question number 1. Oh, and then, okay. They can change languages. I don't know if I'm going to support other languages at first. And G. Okay, and then they're putting this in a nav controller, so they have the what is this? Here. And okay, this is where we're going to need to come up with like questions to ask, or questions. We're going to need to first figure out what we want to collect, and then we put that as questions. Question, placeholder, text. And then actually here, I'm going to change it to like SF Pro, placeholder text. And then that's going to lead them to to answer the different questions. Option 1. And then we're going to add the stroke and make it just slightly smaller. Okay, so that's option 1. Oh, did I group it? No, I didn't, but I don't want to layer the group. Wow. I guess I'll do, oh no, that just made things horrible. That's better. So that's fine for this. And so we're going to take them through a bunch of questions that we need to figure out. And this might be like, I can write this down. So like what changes from coloring to coloring? Ooh. So onboarding. So the subject changes, and that's basically something that they put in the prompt. The environment changes. You have some that are just no environment, it's just the object in the center, versus object is like in a page full of like in a jungle or forest, versus full page, let's say that. And then so there's a subject, there's the environment, then there's a style. This could be like thin lines, medium, and style is actually like, it varies a lot. So it could be the line, the outlining. What else? The mood. So it's like cute versus and friendly versus like scary, or it's like awesome or detailed. And this is just a draft. I'm probably going to run this through like Claude and then just think of how to approach this. And so that's what I'm thinking changes: the subject, the environment, the style. And so basically what that looks like is like 4 pages, 4 to 8 pages of questions. And then the other thing I forgot to add. So they have a loading bar. And do I just want to that's common UI actually, having the loading bar. But where's mine going to be? Here we put like 10 round. Round. And then let's say we like copy this, make it shorter, overlap it, and fill. That's temporary. I'll see what else I feel in the future. Right now what I'm thinking is putting like since it's kind of for kids 8 to 15, make it like a kind of like a gradient or rainbow, and then putting like a dragon as the placeholder, and so the dragon is getting closer to the end. Or maybe like if they approach it like does gender, maybe gender. So if they age, okay. Where did I write this down? What changes from page to page? So age is definitely going to help us, even though that doesn't change. It changes what's on the page, but it's going to help us in cases where they are not able to verbalize, or not even verbal to verbalize, but in just better assuming what pages they want. So age and age bucket, let's say. Or, because if we do age bucket, what if they're getting like images from 2 years down that They just are not liking. Let me think about this one. And what else? Gender. Gender is going to be overridden by this. And then categories, because we do want to change what the categories in the explore page. So categories of interest. Yeah, so now I don't even like need to puff it, because now we're going to be asking them like at least 1, 2, 3, let's say 4, 5, 6, 7 different questions. And so as they go through this, ooh, that's a little bit tricky. I'm thinking as they go through this, like let's say first they say male or female, and then I put, if they say male, I make this a dragon, and if they say female, it remains a unicorn going over like or progressing down like the flat rainbow. Yeah. And then the last page after they complete the quiz, here we say question X, and we delete this, say, or what if we keep it? So I'm thinking maybe the only customization I do for now is change the bottom to be either a dragon or a unicorn, and then later on it becomes more and more like you see how your options are changing what's available. Complete quiz, complete quiz, complete preferences, complete preferences, complete customization. I don't know, I'm going to work over the copy of this onboarding later. And a little bit more about you. I don't need this. Suppose I say I have a loading page customizing this app for you. And see, here's a lot of like, damn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20, 20. No, this is one. It's 21, 40. Damn, it's like a 50-page onboarding. Jeez. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to go that far. So they're asking symptoms. I don't need any of this. Next. Oh, tutorial. I do need tutorial though. I don't know how to think about that. Here. Oh. Tutorial. And so here I'm going to need to reference the existing apps because I'm not sure if I should make this next versus skip tutorial. And then the other thing I was thinking about was just helping them see how far along they are. And D. And then we remove the fill. something like that. These are a little too big, but it takes the point there. Tutorial. And that they do all that. Finish tutorial. Nope. Okay, so let's see. They go here. They talk about all these benefits. Choosing your goals. You have a referral code. Ooh, the rating one. That's actually an important one. Wait. So actually, I don't know where to put that. Would it be after the onboarding, before the tutorial, or give us a rating? And so I'm not sure what like the mechanics of this page is. Does it pop up and they decline it, or like do they press a button to rate it, or what? And then what? So after here, welcome to the app. Now it's time to invest in yourself. We've made, ooh, okay, I gotcha. So I think this is kind of like it's a self-diagnosis. Yeah, I don't think they have like technically a tutorial on theirs. So that's one thing I'm gonna need to think about, like where does the tutorial go? I know for sure I'm gonna need these onboarding questions. I'm gonna need tutorial, or not tutorial, rating. I'm gonna want to put this here for ASO, and what else? I think what I kind of want to do is I want to give them like a little value after the onboarding. So onboarding, like reward. Let's say I reward. Or okay, I just remembered what I'm missing. So here, once they finish theirs, they do calculating, and so I do remove this. I'll keep that there. I want some kind of display, and I'm gonna say, oh, okay, I'm mixing it up right now. So right now I'm doing the customizing, and then here I'm gonna want like a little animation up. Customizing. And then here, let's say gift, I don't know, something like that. So here we say, look, we made these 5 pages for you. A little gift from us. And so here we go here, copy that, go to onboarding. So I know these are for sure. What I'm hesitant now is like, where do I throw the onboarding or the rating? I could say like here, customizing, loading, whatever, give us a rating. Because it is, yeah, if I'm going to make like 4 to 5 images for them for free, what I'm going to want is, or it's going to take like a minute or two. And okay, I have an idea. Give us a little gift from us. So as these start to be generated, what I can do is, go here. Wait. Maybe I merge these. So animation, or okay, so maybe instead of this page, I go here, and what I have here is a bunch of 4 different animations. Or maybe 4 is too much. 1 at a time. And then the other ones are just a stalled image. Bring to front. Animation. Oop. So then I have, as these images are being created, they're loading here. And until then, next, they cannot do anything. So we say, oh, I am doing a lot of things. What the? Oh. Rates. Now, where is their rate page? Right here. No. Give us. There's so many pages. That's like an extreme for give us a rating. And then this is going to be blue. And we could do like, while you're, while you're are being generated, please consider. So that's one option. Please consider giving us a rating. The other option would be they're on this page, complete customization, or here what I actually want to show is like that the dragon got to the end of the rainbow, or the unicorn got to the end of the rainbow, dragon is happy, whatever. No, we'll see. Don't overthink this first one. Give us a rating next. Versus here, if I remove this, and then I do like R, or no, I want a frame. This I add 50, and then I add a text. Rating. While your gift is being generated, I can't see no more. Please consider giving us a rating. And this would be like $30. This would be right there. But let's make this bigger. Or we can center it. Rates. And then... oh, I think this is where it's like rate, skip. And here we just go like that. That's centered. Rates. And then stars. I don't have stars. But I can go to SF symbol. Oh. Symbols. Star. Copy image. Paste it. Fill. 0. Go here. Make it just slightly larger. And then Command D. Oop. Boom. Rating. Consider. Oh. So you're gonna be left and right. The top. Okay, so I think those are the only two ones that are breaking. No. What if instead we do center? These I group, and then this I group, and then this we do center top, so everything is from the top. Well, let me try this. Oh no, that was okay. What the? No idea what happened, but now we can center everything. No, that's not working. Something like that, I can fix it, whatever. And do UI alerts have stroke? I don't know, but it looks better in this case. So those are two options I'm thinking about in the app versus as a UI alert on the screen, I mean. And then, so that fixes this. These are onboarding. Oh no, this is a reward and rating. So that's an interesting, different way than they did it. And what else? So after all of that, do we throw a subscription at them, or after the after tutorials? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think I'm gonna think about that on the stream here and think about it offline. I want to see other examples. I think what they do is take people through the tutorial and then do the subscribe. I need the customization because everything's customized on the app. So mine's inherently going to be longer. So what I'll probably do is look up examples of their tutorial, and then I'll just run it through Claude. Think about, I need this, and I need tutorial. I'll just follow tutorial like people typically do it. But then where should I put subscribe? What else? Yeah. So I still need to finish onboarding today. App UI. Yeah, and I guess in looking, okay. So in looking at people's examples, I can also look at app UI and just kind of figure out where I want to take my UI and just finalize it. So I know for sure I'll finish. I know for sure that I'll finish the wireframes for onboarding. I just don't know about like progress bar is simple. The questions are simple. It's the illustrations that I'm going to need to finalize, and tutorial illustrations as well. So I can have this done. I just don't know about the illustrations and finalizing that. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to take my break and then take my lunch, work on this for the rest of today. And if you're curious about where I take this, you can just tune in tomorrow.